Hey besties, my name is Jordan. Welcome to Kindred Spell. I obviously read the title of the video, but before that, I want to get into what where I'm at right now mentally. Okay, so where I'm at is I made a video based on a TikTok that I saw about a Make America Hot Again event that was happening in New York City as a way to discuss basically what I wanted. So I planned this video, but they kind of go hand in hand. Everything that I post on this channel is probably going to go hand in hand because in my head, everything is connected, everything is evolved in some way. So basically, I filmed that video on the Make America Hot Again events happening in New York City specifically. I included the TikTok that I included the TikTok. And I knew that it was probably going to be a copyright strike on my channel. Going into that, I knew, but I thought maybe I could get around it. No. No, girlie got a copyright strike. So, and I'm fine with that because here we are filming this. They kind of intersect and they kind of go hand in hand with one another because all aspects of life go hand in hand with one another. So that's what we're talking about. Kind of the effects of this does have to do with politics somewhat, just because of the political climate that us Americans are in at the moment. So basically with that video, one of the biggest things to piggyback off of the video that is no longer up on my channel because of the copyright strike, what I wanted people to hear is they are preaching that you have to get married young, you have to work, you have to have kids, you have to have like the stereotypical nuclear family. And with that video, my biggest question from that video was, do you really want that though? Or do you just feel the societal pressure from that? Is really the main purpose of why I wanted to put that video out there. I mean, there were undertones of politics behind that, but I also am squeezing that topic into this video as well because this video is going to be, you read the title, it's, hey, your soulmate, your lifelong partner is not your partner at 19. It's very rare that they are. It's very rare. Every once in a while it happens, you hear about it, and it works. And I love that it works for some people, but for the majority of us, it's just not. It's not the reality, and it is, we're not the majority of us are not the exception to the rule, unfortunately. We all like to think that we are, and sometimes we're not, and that's perfectly fine. We all have our own lives and our own destinies, and it's perfectly okay that it is not to stay with the partner that you had at 19. I don't know. I am thinking about the people that were similar to me at 19 years old and who needed guidance and for someone to say, no, it's okay to leave this relationship. Like, I'm tired of being small. I'm tired of not being heard. I'm tired of staying in a place that no longer serves me and feeling criticized for that by the people around me, who were also friends with my ex at the time. Yeah, so in terms of when it comes to like politics and marrying young, who does that benefit, really? Like, who does that really benefit long term, marrying young, if that's not what you want to do? One would say the government and like the birth rate, I would assume, but you know, yeah, so when it comes to marriage, I, as a 26-year-old woman now, view it as how do I want to word this? More like a man treating me like, if in a hetero romantic relationship, I view it as the man owns the woman. And I think that is why straight people have such like a hard concept with like gay marriage and that being a thing, because one of the biggest things that you hear if you're a queer couple is, oh, well, who's the man in the relationship? Like, who has property over the other? That kind of vibe. I'm just now connecting those dots as I'm filming this. Love is not ownership. Love is not possession. Love is not being unseen or unheard or feeling unvalued. Love is not limited to romantic relationships. Love is so healing and it's so nurturing. And we forget sometimes that soulmates can come in all different shapes and sizes. And that comes from someone that you're meeting down the street, like a friendship, animals, family members. Love comes in all different shapes and sizes, and we as a society forget to nurture our other relationships in romantic relationships in the same way that we nurture and put pressure on romantic relationships. I remember leaving my relationship at 19 and feeling like, first of all, that relationship specifically was very isolating. It made me question my friendships. It made me question myself. It made me question my family. It made me question really everything about myself. I'm gonna be real honest. It was very isolating and it was very lonely. And for the longest time, I needed someone in my life to be like, hey, no, this is okay. But because this partner of mine, ex-partner of mine, was so entangled into not only my social life and not only my family life, it left me feeling like I was the problem. So at 19, I found myself looking outward for external validation. Hey, not crazy. Hey, this feeling that you're feeling that you want to leave this relationship isn't valid. Or like, I remember hearing from someone that, again, it was anonymous, or who I heard this from. It was just someone in my life who had my phone number, said, hey, he's just trying to love you, and you're making that harder on him. Now, we can delve into the aspects of that later. We can delve into the issues behind that later and what led to that specific scenario in another time. But love is not emotionally abusive. Love does not make you question your reality. Love does not make you less of who you are. I remember at 19, I wanted to get tattoos and piercings, and I wanted to color my hair, and I wanted to cut my hair, and that all had to be run through the parameters of my partner. Not in an seeking external validation kind of way, just in a, hey, he didn't want me to do those things kind of way. But even if it is from a seeking validation kind of way, like, you know what you want to do. You know yourself in that moment enough to know, hey, this is what I want to do. Hey, this is what I want to go with. Hey, this is what I feel, and what I like, and what I don't like, and what I don't like being said about me, and what I don't like being treated like. And there is so much more out there for you. From a girlie who's been there. There's so much more out there for you. There's so much more life to be lived. Like, life does not end once you hit your 20s. I promise you. I'm only 26, but I'm so excited to turn 30 and 40 and 50, because guess what? I'll just get to know myself more. The people that you hear in politics, to bring this back to politics, the people that you hear in politics pushing the, oh, you have to get married at 19, oh, you have to take care of a family, oh, you have to do this, and being this way is wrong. None of those people live a life that I want. Let's start there. None of those people live a life that I want, okay? Secondly, none of those people are living the life that they're preaching anyway, okay? All of them have secrets that they're hiding. If you pay close enough attention, you can see it in their actions versus their words. You can see it in who they're married to, and the fact that they've only been married, or they've been married multiple times, and the fact that they have kids with multiple different wives. Like, and there's, the thing about the first video is that there was no shame. Like, there's no shame in living a life that you want, in having multiple different partners, and having kids with multiple different partners. We are all just trying to live. We're all just trying to live. and get through every single day, but our lives on this planet, and live as fulfilling of a life as humanly possible. To put the kind of pressure on yourself to please people who are not living your own life, no, because that's only going to leave you unhappy in the long run. You can apologize and you can make amends in situations that you've done wrong, but I have stayed in far too many situations, especially at 19 to 20 years old, that I had no business being in for longer than a month. I had no business, and it was because I was isolated and I forgot the other forms of love that I could experience. There are so many different ways to experience love, and we put so much pressure on ourselves to experience romantic love. And then we end up with partnerships that are fulfilling or aren't fulfilling. And I have felt so much love, nurture. We are so lonely as a society because we put so much pressure on romantic relationships. 100%. Because we don't have a community outside of that. We don't have the friendships. We don't have the familiar relationships. We don't have acquaintances. Bro, don't get me started on the fact that not everyone is your friend. It's okay. It's perfectly fine for someone to just be an acquaintance, a casual friend. Not everyone has to be your best friend. That are best friendships fulfilling and emotionally fulfilling? Yes. So are coworkers. So are acquaintances that you meet in the coffee shop down the street and they know your order off the top of their head. Like when they see your face. Those relationships are the kind of relationships that we lack, I think. The people that you interact with every day on Instagram that like you're liking and commenting and sharing and you're supporting each other, those relationships can be fulfilling as well and can be just as fulfilling as a romantic relationship. And we put so much pressure for our partners to fulfill every single need that we have. And that's just too much pressure. That's just too much. That's just too much pressure. And it's not fair to our partner. It's not. As bringing this back to the fact that most people will not find their soulmate at 19. It doesn't mean that those relationships didn't mean anything. It doesn't mean that those relationships don't hurt when they end. It doesn't mean that you're a failure in any way because a relationship did end. It just means that you have had the opportunity to learn and grow and experience what you liked out of that relationship and what you didn't like. And you get to learn more about yourself in those relationships as well. And you get to take every single piece and part of the people that you've loved and carry it with you for the rest of your life. And love is not possession. And the fact that some people take it as like, oh, this person is meant to be in my life forever and we're gonna live together forever, and it's perfectly okay that you don't. It's okay to want that. It's okay to picture a long-term future with someone. It's not okay to have power over someone, make them stay someplace they don't want to stay. It's not okay to make yourself smaller. At least I know in my personal experience, I have made myself so small to stay in relationships that no longer served me, to please this other person when I was letting myself down. So the message from me is to not let yourself down. Whatever that means for you. Whatever that looks like for you. Honor yourself first. Even if you're kind and caring and compassionate. Because a lot of times, the people you are in relationships with will honor themselves first as well. As they should. But where does that leave you? I don't know. All love though. Bye.